Should Big Face Coffee add beignets to the menu? Because another city has reportedly emerged as a potential destination for Jimmy Butler. Welcome in to PHNX Suns on PHNX Sports. Make sure before we get started, you hit that subscribe button, hit that notifications button. But we have dueling reports, conflicting reports out there when it comes to the everlasting saga that is the Jimmy Butler and Miami Heat game of chicken for the entire NBA to see. And we just added beignets to the menu because according to Marc Stein, which of course is All City's own, and Jake Fischer, a new team has emerged as a potential trade suitor for Jimmy Butler, and that is the New Orleans Pelicans, who have registered interest in trading for the forward, according to Stein line. Now, there is a counter to that report from John Gambadoro, also known as Gambo, who simply says the Pelicans have no interest in trading for Jimmy Butler. Jimmy doesn't want to go to New Orleans, and acquiring Jimmy would put New Orleans in the tax. They can't hold Butler's money. It can't be a tax team. Either Miami or the agent is just using the Pelicans as leverage. Now, there was a situation where if Jimmy Butler does not want to go to New Orleans, that New Orleans can still help facilitate a Jimmy Butler trade and end up with some rebuilding assets. Now, that would include sending a player like Brandon Ingram to the Miami Heat, who is almost extension eligible as well, and possibly another player like Herb Jones. I believe that money adds up if it was going to be direct, Brandon Ingram, Herb Jones for Jimmy Butler. But from a Pelicans perspective, why? Why? Why would you want Jimmy Butler? Why? I don't get it. Your team's already injured enough as it is. You're not in contention. It doesn't make nearly as much sense as a team like the PHNX Suns, right? So to me, I don't think that New Orleans will end up getting Butler, but the question for, of course, myself as a Suns fan and you as Suns fans clicking on this is, well, is this now a potential team to help facilitate the trade? If you're keeping score, I think about half of the league, if not more, has been somewhat linked to what could be a mega Jimmy Butler deal. We've dropped videos about De'Aaron Fox and the Kings and how that could maybe open things up, whether De'Aaron wants to go to Miami or if De'Aaron wants to move things around to San Antonio. San Antonio sends something to Miami. Miami sends something to Phoenix. Phoenix sends something to Sacramento. Now you're adding another layer in all of that, and that layer is the New Orleans Pelicans. If you can get from a PHNX Suns perspective, because the Heat are clearly done. They don't want Bradley Beal unless there's a massive change of heart, which I know we're all, hoping for to make sure that this trade can go down. Unless there's a change of heart, the Miami Heat do not want Bradley Beal's contract. They do not want Bradley Beal, the basketball player, as he overlaps with Tyler Hero. But you want to know who doesn't overlap with Tyler Hero is Brandon Ingram. And Miami still wants to win. They need to win this year, and they want to win now. They're not really in the business of rebuilding. And Brandon Ingram is a all-star or a fringe all-star, depending on what point in his career. He's been kind of toiling away in New Orleans, but he is a lanky, tall, skilled wing who can hit shots from anywhere on the court, and I think would fit in pretty well with the Heat's identity. Offensively, he's going to be able to spot up and take three. He's going to be able to play off Bam, off of Khalil Ware, off of all-star Tyler Hero, right? He's going to be able to fill a different role than all of them. And defensively, lanky, athletic. Now, he's not the greatest defender in the world, but in Miami Heat's system, I could definitely see him being the type of player that they would value more than somebody like Bradley Beal, who overlaps with Tyler Hero, who does not bring that same defensive intensity, or maybe when he does, the actual build of him limits to how great he could be defensively, right? If you can say, hey, Miami, you are losing an all-star forward, right? You are losing Jimmy Butler. That position needs to be filled. You can like Haywood Highsmith all you want. Haywood Highsmith cannot be your future at that position. What about a different forward? Somebody who slots in there. If you can't get De'Aaron Fox from the Kings, can the Pelicans take on Bradley Beal and draft assets? The Heat take on Brandon Ingram, possibly Herb Jones, if the Pelicans are willing to give that up. And then the Suns get Jimmy Butler. That could be a recipe. That could help open the door for something like this. And I'll leave you with this. I modified a trade that our own Gerald Bourguet, PHNX Suns beat reporter, did over at GoPHNX.com. He put together this trade before the Suns did the trade for Nick Richards, which drained them of second-round picks and then flipped their first-round pick for more first-round picks. But the basic framework makes sense. The Suns get Jimmy Butler and Daniel Tice. The Pelicans get Bradley Beal, Terry Rozier, and I'm going to amend the couple second-round picks too. They get 2 first-round picks from the Phoenix Suns and 1 first-round pick from the Miami Heat. And then in return, the Miami Heat get CJ McCollum and Brandon Ingram. Now, McCollum is a very big contract, and I get why maybe people would say Miami would be hesitant to overlap that with Tyler Hero. Now, CJ McCollum has played a lot more point guard in his time in New Orleans than he did when he was playing with Damian Lillard, and I feel like you can bring him off the bench. He should be comfortable in that role. You're really going for Brandon Ingram, who is extension eligible, and you would try to make him a core piece of your future and only giving up 1 first-round pick and 1 aging superstar that you don't really want. So again, Jimmy Butler, Daniel Theis to the Suns, Brandon Ingram, CJ McCollum to the Heat, Bradley Beal, Terry Rozier, 2 first-round picks from the Suns, 1 first-round pick from the Heat, a total of 3 first-round picks for Brandon Ingram and CJ McCollum for the Pelicans. They do get saddled with Rozier and Beal, but I don't think they're trying to win anytime soon, and I actually do think Bradley Beal could be able to help them out. Now, of course, Bradley Beal would have to waive his no-trade clause. There are so many more layers to this. We're going to break it all down on PHNX Suns as the season continues. Pre-game, post-game shows, trade deadline shows, everything imaginable, writing, video, audio, all over here at PHNX Sports. Hit that subscribe button, hit that notifications button, and of course, check out gophnx.com for not just Suns, but Cardinals, Diamondbacks, ASU, U of A, Rising, Mercury, Southwest Bias, if you haven't checked that out either. So much more in written, audio, and video form over at gophnx.com. Drop a comment down below. Jimmy to New Orleans, is it happening? Or are we just all getting excited again about something that just won't happen? Let us know and stick around.
We all silly like the mayor.